What's up, YouTube? Vengefulsorrow here once again, back at it again. Another drinking video. It's been a little while, and I haven't been able to say that for a little while because I was making content pretty regularly. But as you may know, there was an incident, and I'm all better. I got hurt, but I'm all better. Maybe I'll go in a little bit to it, but I can't tell you everything. So, what are we doing today? Well, got ourselves another one of them glass bottle King Cobras. It's gonna fucking kill us, man. So, let's crack this sucker open. Get started. Have ourselves a wonderful evening. Cheers. This sucker's ice cold. Fucking bought it like a week ago, kind of like right before I wanted to make a video, and then I got injured and I wasn't able to. And what happened? Well, alcohol was involved. So this is my first time drinking alcohol in like a week and a half or so. So I just wanted to stay away from it for a little while because that was the cause of my injury. And I'm not 100% better. I don't know if I'll ever be 100% better. I'm like 94.5% better. That's a good way to say it. What had happened was, I was drinking, and I got drunk, and it was tequila, fucking Jose Cuervo, and I don't know how much I had, because I blacked out. It was the first time blacking out in a long time, and I think the last time I remember, I was at about 9 shots. So, I don't know why I kept going. But, what happened was, from what I was told, because I don't remember any of this, I have zero recollection after about like 5 or 6 shots. Not that I blacked out after that, but I don't remember anything after that. I do remember taking up to 9 shots though, so. I guess I tried to sit on a table, and I kept falling off, but I was determined. Now remember, this is what I was told. I was determined to sit up on that table, and the third time I fell, I didn't get up. I fell, and apparently, well, I'll be honest, for the first like 12 hours I was paralyzed. Now I was blackout drunk, so I passed out. So I don't remember any of it. I do remember trying to get up, but I couldn't. I was basically paralyzed from the waist down, essentially. And I wasn't worried because I didn't fucking know anything. But when I woke up the next day, I was worried because I had, when I woke up, I had a memory of, oh shit, that's right. Yeah, I remember not trying to get up, but I couldn't. But then I tried to get up when I woke up the next day, and I couldn't get up, and that's when shit got real. Now, like I said, I felt like I was paralyzed. I couldn't get off the floor. I eventually did. I crawled off the floor onto the bed where my phone was, because I wasn't here, I wasn't home, so I wanted to be near my phone just in case I had to call 911 or someone like from my family to come get me. But I toughed it out. Now it was so awesome and great when I made it to my phone. I'm like, yes, at least if I need to call somebody, I can. I get to my phone, 9%. That's great. Now I can't be on my phone looking shit up or whatever. I've just got to entertain myself with myself. I don't have any form of entertainment. Now, there was nobody around. There was somebody around the night before, but not that night. Or not that day when I woke up. 4 reasons. So, when I wake up, first thing I always do is I take a piss. And I had to shit real bad, too. And I was hungover as fuck. Because I was drunk the day before, or the night before. So I was so parched, bro. I was dying of thirst. And I didn't have no fucking drink anywhere, no water. Besides a bottle with like this much tequila left in it. So I tried and tried for the next 2 hours to go to the bathroom. And I couldn't walk. Like, I would dangle my feet off the bed, try to put pressure on them. I couldn't. I thought, maybe I'll just inch my way to the bathroom to get like a sip of fucking tap water, or to take a shit or something. So I tried. I would put pressure on them like from a sitting position, and then the moment I like stood up or tried to stand up, I would literally collapse onto the floor. And then I was stuck on the floor for another 30 minutes trying to get up onto the bed so I could try again. And it wasn't fun. So basically, I had, I don't even know if I got to the point where I explained what happened. It was my right side of my back, I apparently fell, and I went to the doctor and got it checked out. I fell, and, I honestly thought I broke my hip. Like, I thought I was an old motherfucker and broke my hip. Now, the pain wasn't necessarily in my hip at that time. The pain was shooting up my back and down my leg anytime I put pressure on it. Like, that leg. So, I thought, because initially it was that, and then it kind of localized into the hip anytime I took a step. Now it's, like, occasionally there in, like, the hip and, like, the leg. Occasionally, if I take a wrong step. I don't know if I'll ever be better. But what the doctor thinks is I bruised my hip, I bruised a bone in there, and it pushed on and made a nerve swell up. So, it'll eventually be better, hopefully. But it was not fun in that moment. And it was a 10. It was a 10 out of 10 on the pain scale. And I've broken my wrist twice. It was not very fun. I would not recommend that. So that's number one, why I've been staying away from alcohol for the last week and a half. I think I'm ready to go back to it. I know my limits now. Well, I already been knowing my limits, but I don't want to fucking do that shit again. But, yeah, I hadn't made a video as well either, because for the first 4 days, I was stuck in bed. I literally couldn't, like, the standing part, I could stand in one spot, but any walking, any moving besides that, I couldn't. Like, I did manage to go to the doctor. It was quick. It was in and out in 30 minutes. I wanted x-rays, because like I said, I thought I broke my hip, but I didn't. I didn't get x-rays, actually. The doctor, they felt my bones. They had me do some exercises. They don't think it was broken. They thought it was a nerve thing because of the way, like, my pain I would only start feeling pain once my leg hit a certain angle or degree. So I was literally in bed for like the first 3 or 4 days. Like, I actually took off at work. I ended up having to take off of work. So that's why that's one of the reasons there was no videos. And then when I returned to work at the end of the week, it was busy. I mean, I was able to stand and walk after the first few days of bedness, and then trying to be up and mobile for like the next 2 days or so. I was able to get it working, and like I said, it's working now. But the last end of the week's always busy, always tough at work. So and here we are, back to our regularly scheduled programming. Now, fuck. I seem to have another medical issue going on with me as well. That one I don't want to get too in depth with because it's nasty. But I am so glad I got health insurance this year. Man, I have been without health insurance for 7 years maybe. But now I have it again, and it's fucking already paid off. I was sick for a few days, and that was right when coronavirus was hitting. I went to the doctor, got it checked out. I actually went to the doctor and got to the dermatologist and got like medication for my psoriasis. Now, because it's through insurance, the insurance requires steps up, up the ladder of trying things out to see if they work. So right now we're on topicals, and I've noticed a little bit, maybe not here, but in some other areas, it's been a little bit helpful. Actually, that's actually looking really good. So, yeah. So that's yeah. So the next step, I guess, is like localized injections, where they'll like inject the spots. They won't do it on the face because it's like, I don't know, Botox or something, where it makes your skin all wiggly and shit. So, injections, and then they have like really strong supplement pills like vitamin D, which is basically the stuff you get from the sun. Sun actually helps this, like if I were to go tanning every day. And then there's ultraviolet, basically a tanning bed exposure. That's supposed to help. But if all that fails, then they'll put me on the pills, basically. So we'll see what happens. It's pretty cool because this has been working a little bit. The topical creams and ointments and shit, and it makes me seem like I'm 100 years old saying creams and ointments, but that's what that is. So I did that, and insurance helps with that, and then I went to the doctor because I thought I broke my goddamn hip, that's not fun, but it's great that it only costs a certain amount of money, and then I said there's another medical issue that I might have to go get checked out soon, so I picked the perfect year to have some shit happen to me. So you see all this? Very shortly it'll be gone. Because initially they said phase 1, like the wave 1 of reopenings, would not include barbershops. However, it was announced late last week that barbershops would be able to be open starting this past Monday, so yesterday. But I actually was gonna go today, but because I didn't want to go yesterday because I figured they'd be swamped. Everybody wants their haircut. And I was gonna go today, but I thought I had the foresight to call ahead and be like, yeah, are you guys open? And they said, yes, we are open. However, you have to have an appointment because we're only allowed to have one person in the building at a time. So I was like, okay, do you have any appointments for today available? No. How about tomorrow? No. Thursday? Yes. So Thursday at 4 p.m., I'm getting my damn hair cut. Hopefully, So I gotta live with this for... Look at this. It's freaking cool, isn't it? I'm gonna miss it. It's cool because there was this one little piece earlier. Like, it was just hanging here, and I could see it, and it was like looking cool. I don't know. I look emo right now, don't I? If it was more wet, it would flip a little bit more, but so I got a story, and this is, you know, these essential employees, which I'm one of, but these essential employees who are dumb shits, or they just don't care because they're gonna get paid either way, and they're not gonna get in trouble. But I went to Walmart today, and I was because I need to buy a new pair of work shoes, right? Because, you know, I have to have specialized shoes for work. So I went to the section, and they've got this whole rack, and they've got the different types of shoes and the different sizes of shoes. Okay, I'm a 10.5, you know, I can fit an 11 or a 10 depending if it's 10 wide or whatever. So as you go up, the sizes increase. I only like a certain style of shoe because it's you know, it's what I like. So I look up that row, and I'm like, ah, shit, they don't have my shoe. They don't have my size, right? But above it, there's different shoes. There's the same shoes, but the right size, it's my size, it's on a different rack, a different size thing. And then I actually like a different style. There's 2 different styles that I like. I looked there just out of curiosity. The same thing, except like down here. The people who stocked that shelf, you could tell this wasn't no dumb shit kid who just went around and like, oh, I'm fucking that shit up. Now, this was an employee who was retarded. They didn't care about the sizes. They just went ahead and put the random sizes on random things. They didn't care. And it's sad, you know, because, look, I don't live a very glamorous life. My work is not very important. However, I do take pride in my work. Maybe a little too much, because I put so much energy into work, and then I come home and I'm exhausted. But, bro, you're fucking putting shoes on a shelf. Like, do the job right. I don't know, man. That's some stupid ass shit. Like we all learn how to count before we even make it to fucking kindergarten, right? I don't remember that far back. Like, did they fucking use some child labor or some shit? Or is the person mentally that age? I don't know. Ooh, you want to know something cool? And I'm actually very interested. I just fucking looked up at my games. And right there, Tony Hawk. The fucking skateboarding games. They just announced, and I just saw this like when I got off work. They just announced that they're making a Tony Hawk 1 and 2 remastered. That's awesome. Because those were like the best games, right? Oh, 3 and 4 and Underground 1 and 2 and American Wasteland. Those were all the good games. They need to remaster all of them. However, 1 and 2 are pretty cool, and it's a start, you know, like Resident Evil. They started doing it, and then they're like, oh shit, this is good, and then they kept going, and they made all their games remastered. But fucking that's so fucking cool. Because didn't they already make like Tony Hawk? I thought they honestly already did a Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 remastered. Unless I read it wrong and they're actually doing Tony Hawk's Underground 1 and 2, which would be cool. But either way, fucking they did, you know, Tony Hawk's 1 remastered, and I thought they did. Or maybe it was just HD version, HD remaster, not a full remaster. I don't know. Either way, it'll be cool. But Tony Hawk's 2, now that's a game that really needed it, because that was so much fun. I played that shit, number one, when it came out, because when I got a PlayStation 2, it was fucking hell, man. It was so long ago. It was probably in 2000, like when the console came out. Not for launch. I remember I wasn't into game consoles or anything then. Maybe it was a little bit after launch, like 2000, maybe 2001. But I remember I never had a PlayStation 1. However, because the library wasn't so big, I only owned like this many games, you know. I remember, I think Dark Cloud 1, which is a fantastic game, by the way. I really need to go back and play it and actually beat it, because I got stuck at a boss and never got past that. So Dark Cloud 1, I remember one of the early Madden games for it. And fuck. Fuck. Spy Hunter. I don't know if there was a subtitle on that game, but one of those Spy Hunter games for the PlayStation 2. And then, oh god, what was the name of the game? Headhunter? I want to say it was Headhunter. Let's look that up, because I'm really curious now. I think it was called Headhunter. But it was like, oh my god, what was it? What the fuck is the name of that? Ah, man. Anyway, yeah, so I had those, but the thing is, because of backward compatibility, like I said, I never had a PlayStation 1, but you could play PlayStation 1 games. So, oh my god, this lighting is awesome. I should fucking do this more often. But, is it? Yeah, Headhunter. That's the name of the game. So, anyway. You could play PlayStation 1 games. So, you know, the people in my life bought me a bunch of PlayStation 1 games. GTA 2 included. That was my first GTA game. I didn't play the game at launch. Number one, I didn't play the game on the PlayStation 1. But I am a human being who, when I'm like, if I live this long, like 80, 90 years old, I can be like, I fucking played Grand Theft Auto when that shit, before that shit was fucking Grand Theft Auto, bro, when it was top down. That was me. I was one of those people, you know? God, if I lived to be 90, I would love it, number one. I say I would love it, because then I get to experience more, you know? I get to experience more of the world. I get to experience things occurring and scientific developments, and I get to fucking witness things that, you know, people who died before me didn't. You know what I mean? That's one of the reasons I like to live. I want to live long. But and I've been thinking a lot about this recently. I'm gonna be in fucking pieces. You know what I mean? Like, I'm crying now when I'm fucking, you know, fucking making a nerve swell up. How is my body gonna feel, you know, when I'm that fucking old, and every day I wake up, number one, I'm gonna wonder if I'm even gonna be alive. Number two, if I'm gonna be able to walk, or if I'm gonna be able to do anything, because my body's gonna give out. But I still want to be alive, at least, you know. Not that I'm afraid of death. I mean, I guess I kind of am, and everybody should be. But if when I'm dead, you know, unless reincarnation is real, which may or may not be true, because I have no idea. I mean, because I was dead before I was born, you know. I wasn't alive or conscious. It's probably going to be the same after I die. But will it be eternal? Now, eternal, that's a long time. Eternity. Think of that for a second. Eternity. You're talking forever, right? The universe hasn't been around for an eternity. The universe has only been around for like 13.8 billion years, right? That's a long time now, but that's not forever. You know what I mean? is there a possibility, and I'm sure there is, but I'm sure by probabilities, I'm sure there's a possibility that the consciousness of myself will be reborn into another consciousness, be it a brain, be it a sentient AI. So let's say in another 13.8 billion years, the universe will be like, what, 27 billion years old and some change? Will there be humans? Who the hell knows? Probably not. If we are alive as a species, we won't be humans that are recognizable as humans. We'll be something else. You know what I mean? Like, we like to think that we, like, went above evolution, but however, our fingers, our thumbs probably in particular, will probably evolve to be more adept at touching a screen as we spend the next hundreds, thousands of years touching screens. You know what I mean? Because that's going to be what we do in the future. So we'll probably develop a little point on our end of our thumbs that can make it so we can touch a screen better. You know what I mean? I don't know. But I guess where I was going with that is that in the far, far future, the universe may recycle its consciousness, whatever the word is, consciousness, and our minds may go from one to another. I'm not saying I'm like, bro, fucking reincarnation, bro. Yeah, bro. Nah, fuck that shit. I've known people who be like that. But, I don't know, man. I want to experience the most I can, even if I'm fucking in a coma. You can fucking turn on the news and let me fucking experience the world. So, I don't remember where I was going with any of that. I'm feeling this a little bit, which is awesome. Oh, let me fucking talk real quick. So, I got a little bit left. I got like 2 sips left. I fucking finished Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. That's one of my favorite games of all time. The game's just fantastic. Just fantastic. It's like playing Dark Souls with a little bit of Sekiro mixed with, I don't know, I want to say, I don't know, I can't really describe it besides Dark Souls, because there's a lot of exploration, there's a lot of shortcuts that you open, there's basically a bonfire with the little meditation things, and the enemies respawn, you get your health back, and you can upgrade and shit there, and, you go to more worlds and stuff. It's like Dark Souls. You walk around with your shield, in Dark Souls you walk around, and anytime you're in a new area, you gotta walk around with your shield up, because there's a fucking trap or there's an enemy hiding behind a corner. And it's literally the same thing in Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. There's enemies around corners and shit. You walk around a corner, there's a fucking stormtrooper on the ledge that blasts you. And he sees you before you see him, so you can just randomly hear pew, and then you're like, oh shit, and then you fucking hit the button that puts your lightsaber up and it deflects it. You know what I mean? There's big monsters, there's big boss fights. The boss fights in that game are just beyond fantastic. Okay, some of them at least. I mean, there's like 3 boss fights that were just amazing that I just will remember for a long time. The fucking Gorgera, the fucking giant bat thing on Dathomir. Fantastic. It was fun. I died a few times, but I learned it, and I got better, and I beat it. And then fucking Terran Malachus. Fucking great boss fight. I sucked ass at it. I got pissed off at it. Spent like 15 times fighting him, but I beat him. I learned every attack. I learned how to parry every attack, and every time you parry, it takes his defense thing down, and then after you do that a few times, you can fight him, or you can hurt him. It takes a long time, but you can do the fight basically without getting hit if you'll learn it enough. And that's basically what you have to do in any of the Dark Souls games or Sekiro games if you want to win. And then fucking the second sister, and I say second sister because I don't want to spoil anything. However, she was fun. She was real fun. Frustrating, but not unfair because it was fun, you know? She has fair attacks. You just have to learn. You know, when she does like the ground pound shit. Oh, I forgot about the fucking the ninth sister. The ninth sister, same thing. That's another boss fight that was really fun. So, I mean, the game had a lot of fucking good bosses, and it was just great. I just loved the game. I really was upset when it ended. I want more. I know they just came out with an expansion, but it's not an expansion. It's like an arena mode or something, which actually I might want to check out because that would be cool. Just fighting bosses back to 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 back. Because I learned them and I probably know all their patterns still because it was just fresh in my mind. But now I'm playing the Outer Worlds, and that game, let me tell you. That game is Fallout. However, it does it better than Fallout. Now I know it's made by Obsidian, who made Fallout New Vegas. So they know what they're doing. In fact, they probably wrote like part of the book. But man, it's fucking Fallout, bro. It's awesome. It's literally the same as Fallout, but it's a good Fallout. It's a good game. It's a fucking great game. I got addicted to it. The first area, like the Emerald Vale, I 100%ed it. At least I think I did. There were some terminals that I didn't look up because it was like in restricted areas. I'm like, oof. I don't really want to get into that. I don't want to get in trouble. But everything else I did, and it was fun. I spent a long time in it. And then there, the second area, which you're on the ship. Oh man, it's a lot of fun, dude. It's literally Fallout, but a good game. And I say that like that because Fallout 76 apparently is a shit game. And it was made by the people who make all the Fallout games. I never played Fallout 76. However, I've heard a lot of shit, and it's multiplayer only, and I don't want to do that. I don't play Fallout for multiplayer. I play Fallout because it's a single-player game. Fallout 76 is garbage, and I never even touched it. I never even looked at anything about it, besides some articles. Fuck Fallout 76. So, Fallout Outer Worlds, as I shall call it, is a great game because it's Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4. Fallout 4 was a good game too. A lot of people think it's shit, but just because it's something different, but it's not. It's everything gameplay-wise, but better because